Hello everyone. I know my hair's an absolute mess today, but I actually managed to have a shower for the first time in like 3 days, so that's great. And if you guys watched my last video, you know that I was going through some stuff for a while, so I made a post on Reddit, like the correct Gen Z trash I am, so I'm just gonna read over that, and then I'm going to just read over the plots and kind of give some feedback, and hopefully anybody else who's going through something similar to me might get something out of it. So, Reddit posted 2 hours ago. I might not say the title on this actually, just because I don't want people to know my Reddit username. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure if I just don't say the title, it won't be too easy to look up. Am I the asshole for getting into an argument with my mother over my major? And Reddit has, or Am I the Asshole has a character limit of 3,000 on it, which is absurdly small. So this is, just over that, or no, just under 1,000 words, and I'll read the comments, so they'll be around 1,000 words, but I wrote like 2,900 words originally, so if anybody wants to see the more in-depth what happens, how I'm trying to explain my problems and my situations a bit more, yeah, I'd be happy to read all of it over a couple days, I guess. The university my mom works for has a pre-med program. Until last year, I was happy to do it, but then I really started to grow into myself more and decided I'd rather go elsewhere. I applied to 5 schools and got into all of them. However, I gave in to my family's demands and took a year at the smaller university. I haven't been enjoying my classes, and I've decided to switch to business. Originally, my family was hesitant, but then they were fairly supportive. However, this quickly reversed with my mother once I mentioned I'd drop out of my pre-med course to do something in business next semester. Hey mom, I was just going to set up an appointment with the counselor to see which courses I should take next semester. Oh, you don't have to do that. Pre-med is designed so you don't have to choose anything until 3rd year. By the way, I'm paraphrasing this a lot. I'm not a person for quotes, but these are the factual things that were said, not the inflections or the word choice. Disclaimer out of the way, and I'll continue. Well, I thought I'd take some courses that would prepare me for business since I'm transferring. I'm not sure you should do that, but I guess this means you already told people. That was stupid. Nobody's going to give you any scholarships now. You just told them what they spend all their time doing isn't interesting enough for you. You know, those are my friends. They were so excited to teach you this year, and you just throw it back in their faces. I'm sorry. Just show me the jobs you'll be able to do with a business degree. And I pulled up the Texas Instruments hiring site. I'm interested in sales, engineering, and HR. You have no clue how hard it is to get a job in HR. You don't have much of a chance at all. Let's go over your courses that you have next semester. We look over the college site and doesn't offer really any business courses, so she scrolls through my next semester's courses. You have calculus, psychology, and English next semester. Use those as your business courses. I was actually thinking of trying programming. So programming is actually a course delivered by the college I'm at as well. And it's just like, really basic entry-level programming, but that's kind of what I'm wanting. You know, most people in programming have been doing it since they were 8. There's no way you could catch up. 2 years ago, I told you should make an app for your science fair project, and you said it was too difficult. What makes you think you could do it now? I only had a few months to do that, but I'm assuming by the end of my degree I could do it. You know, you're really pissing me off today. You're acting like a spoiled kid. You have all the friends you could ask for, a boyfriend, an amazing place to live. You have money, are able to attend an amazing program during a time most people can't even keep their jobs. You can get a master's in business, but you need to finish your bachelor's of health science first. No employer is going to touch you until you get your bachelor's degree done. You can't keep throwing away every amazing opportunity we give you just because you're not interested. You can't just run away and do something just because it's cool. You actually have to stick around and put in the work. Then when you have the stable job, you can go back and find something to do on the side that makes less money. Huh. Also, apparently there's 10 new comments since I last went over this. Okay. Here's one. This is from Bowtrek. Not the asshole, but your mom is trying to help, just in a bad way. I assume you're getting a free or cheap ride to school if she's faculty there. Take advantage of that. Stay there and get a 4-year degree. Get a master's in business. And if your 4-year degree is in health science, that will give you a leg up when you're applying for HR sales jobs at companies that make stuff. If you're getting a master's, then don't worry about what 4-year degree is in. Just get it and use it to broaden yourself, especially if you have a free cheap ride at this school. And I had to reply to this one because I thought it was important enough to do so, like in words. That the main bonus of me staying here right now is just my job and that I know the area. There's no real benefit of going to that school specifically. I don't get any discount or cheap ride just because my mom's on faculty. They don't do that around here. Which is great. We have from Zeti1, not the asshole. She's trying to live the life she wanted to live through you. It's kind of funny because she's doing more the opposite, maybe. I don't know. She originally, she wanted to be a doctor that delivers babies, whatever that's called, gynecologist, maybe. You know, she like a midwife, but exceptionally cooler. And her mom actually went and said, "Hey, you need to stop going to school now. You need to actually like settle down and work. Your job is good enough as it is." So it's kind of, I don't know. I guess it's true that she's like trying to live through me then because she didn't get a chance to go to med school and live out all that. Not easy being Jeezy. I like that name. Not the asshole. Also, business degrees are extremely versatile. HR is an amazing degree and career path with lots of growth and a good salary. Do what makes you happy school-wise. And the reply from Inside Voices, agree with this. Also, I would add not everyone who has a job in the software engineering industry has been programming since they were 8, not even the developers. Yes, those kind of people are highly sought after, but they are rather rare. Most of us started late in life, and nowadays it's a very popular second career for wiped out 30-somethings. Just being in your 20s might be an advantage. Even if you want to stay on the business or even HR side of things, any programming courses you take or projects you do will help you interact with and understand developers, which is a major plus. If business is more interesting to you, go for it. I'm sure your mom will be proud of you when she realizes how well you're doing 5 years from now. By the way, her colleagues will understand. Don't fall for the culture. Yeah, that's nice. I had to take out my post because it was too long, but I did mention how I did bring that up with her, like, at the beginning when I was still really highly deciding whether I want to go to UBC or smaller place I'm going to now. I don't know. It's going to be pretty obvious to anyone who does vague research, but I feel like some amount of privacy is important. So I'm just going to not say the name. I don't know. Yeah. I had mentioned that that there might be a bit of a. I just didn't really want her to know everything that was going on with me at school. So that's just like I dropped out of chemistry. I'm never going to tell her that because that's just such a bad idea that I don't need to worry about at all. Right? But yeah, I don't know. Apparently, if her colleagues are talking to her about being disappointed in me, that's not true. I'm not sure what that is, whether she's just silently embarrassed or if there is actually discussion of me, and I think either way it's probably better for me to leave the situation just because conflict of interest is conflicting and less interesting. Yeah. Not from Dark World 25. Not the asshole, you're not a kid anymore and you shouldn't be treated like one. Statistician statistician, gold 1216. Not the asshole. No one, I repeat, no one should become a doctor if they are willing to dedicate their lives to the grind, at least for a long stretch of it. If you can literally be anything else, all doctors recommend it. Look at it this year. Doctors are dying. That's the kind of commitment that goes into this job. Sorry. Soapbox aside, college is learning what you want. Good luck. Yeah, I really agree heavily with this one, just because like part of the reason why I don't think I'd ever manage to make it into the med school is just because I just really don't want to ever have to worry about people dying. Like in my day-to-day life. What I was thinking of going into was radiology, which, you know, if you're going into like bones, you know, like broken bones and split, I don't really know anything about it, but I feel like there's a good amount of separation between patient and x-ray if you were the radiologist who was looking at the x-rays. And then there's the cool thing about being a very international behind the scenes job. But you really have to be the GP and specialize in all that before you can get there, and it's questionable, you know. We got SW Good Toes. Yeah, man, I really love me some good toes. Wow, not the asshole times 10. You should change your major and also transfer schools to somewhere farther away from your mom. Does she even realize this is your life, not hers? On top of that, pre-med is an extremely limiting undergrad major. Most universities don't even offer it anymore because if you decide not to continue with med school, you're screwed. Instead, they encourage undergrads who want to go to med school to get a bachelor's in a related science like biology, with some recommendations of specific courses you can take if you're med school bound. Depending on where you get it from, a business degree is more versatile and doesn't require grad school. But the most important thing is this is your life, not your mom's. Live it for yourself. Yeah. And then I replied back to this one that I was feeling a lot of med school bound pressures in my class, where so many people are, you know, they've been practicing the MCAT for like 3 years. A couple of them have already done the MCAT, you know, and the Casper, and they're constantly studying it already. I'm just like, I really hope I don't ever have to go into med school. So I do agree that pre-med is quite redundant for me, especially if it's actually costing more. I have to go back in and do the math, but I know I'm paying quite the extra premium to go to pre-med at this point. Yeah. And they replied to me, if you don't want to be a doctor, pre-med is not for you. In fact, I'm sure there must be a med school subreddit somewhere you could check out and ask the med students what they think and what they did in undergrad, and whether they do it all again. And then somebody else replied, Kooky Junie Tate. Haha, I want to go med school. 2 weeks is nothing. Most people spend months studying just that. I've been advised by many people to study 8 hours a day for at least 3 to 4 months beforehand for like the MCAT and the Casper. Yeah, some people are just crazy, but I mean, I'm happy for them. I don't mean to be a whole downer on like, oh, don't go med school. This is just about me. If you want to go med school, like, damn well do it. Like, I'm not doing great, but if you have the motivation for it, I think it's like a really cool thing to go into. Especially a more, like, I could really see this program being beneficial to somebody who cared, if that makes sense. I know it sounds really bad, but you know how it is. Deb Byard, 1975. Not the asshole. Your mom? Definite asshole. I'm laughing at the irony of her telling you that you can't get a job with a business degree. Clearly, she's been living in academia, not the real world. And when she's wrong about that coding since 8 thing, what people put on their college application doesn't translate into actual tech hiring. And yeah, I feel like that's one of the more supportive comments I've gotten. Okay, sorry, that's just the autumn on there. Sorry, I'm reading way too much now. Yeah, that it's kind of nice to hear that. You know, a lot of it doesn't matter after you get your first job. I think I have had a good amount of experience and enough skills that I could do well with the job, especially if I get a degree to back it up, if that makes sense. And yeah, I think it'd be really cool to just go and see what's out there. This one is from CJ_K. Wow, that's a hard name to say. Way more than I thought. CJ_K. Not the asshole. Do not spend time doing something you're not interested in. It's your future, not hers. With decreasing exclamation marks there. There are so many opportunities in business. I'm in business marketing. I genuinely enjoy my program. And to be honest, if you get a degree, there's a good chance you can find something without even needing a master's. Please don't listen to your mom. You'll regret it when you're years deep in a degree you hate. And yeah, that was one of my big fears at the beginning of all this, before all this happened, before I gave him, was that, oh no, I'm going to give him this one time. Because she was promising, like, it's just this year, it's just this 1 year. And I just kind of knew it wouldn't be 1 year. It would be oh, we'll just finish a degree, you're already a year in, just finish it off, and then you can go somewhere else. Well, it's like, you've already done the health science degree, you might as well apply for med school. Well, you got accepted into med school, so now you have to go to med school. Or just be very linear of, like, you're already here, so just keep going. Taser Manic. Not the asshole, don't let her live through you. Show her you can do anything. Let your spite help fuel your passion. I'm not actually very spiteful about it yet. I know I probably should be, but I'm not a spiteful person. I really don't hate anyone except Rand. Rand the Lightbeard. Yeah, that's really it. That and, like, pedophiles that have actually, like, being with kids. Yeah, hate that. Hate that. No, actually. I believe that everybody deserves a second chance, Like, I'm going completely off subject. I'm probably going to get roasted for this, but I genuinely think if you're taking steps to better yourself as a former pedophile will say, you're making yourself into a better person. I don't think anybody should be allowed to, I don't want to say judge, because, yeah, they probably shouldn't, like, hire you as a babysitter anymore, but, they shouldn't bring it up, like, at the restaurant or something, if that makes sense. It's like, you're here and you're fixing it, and it deserves to be acknowledged that you're getting better. And, like, I really do hope, like, all these comments that are like, oh, your mom will be proud of you eventually. Yeah. Not the asshole so much. And to be perfectly honest, most people don't get hired in the field they study in. Sounds like your mom is mad you are starting to think independently as an adult and make your own choices, when she's clearly mapped out this part of your life already. Looking back, I honestly wish I had taken a business class or even a degree in it. Being successful in business means you have the option of being master over every aspect of your life. Let's say you do write that app. I'd mentioned, no, I wrote that part to you guys, that's fine. You need to know how to run the company that sustains the app. You'll know how to hire the right people, how to oversee various departments, and when the time is right, how to sell the app to a larger corporation, and have the option of retiring early because of it. I've ended up working outside my degree in 2 startups, one in technology and logistics and one in marketing. I now know that if I had the business education and this experience under my belt, I would have the confidence to take my own ideas to market and start a company. Yeah, I mean, there's one specific thing in here. Right, I was going to talk about hiring because I've been somewhat in charge. I wouldn't say charge as much as underseer instead of overseer. Overseer maybe is their word though. Where we've had quite a lot of open positions at the store that I work at, because we had one really good lady who was there for like a decade or something, and she had some health issues, so she had to leave the position, and we were all like super sad to see her go, but like everyone else, she had to be replaced. And yeah, some people, man. Like, I originally thought, I was much younger and hadn't done any hiring, had looked at resumes, that there would be, like fairly difficult competition. I was just really having to excuse some people here, like, oh, it was bad. They give you like a piece of paper, and it's like that big, and it's like the biggest things. I mean, I work at a fabric store. You can probably guess like a few things you should put on there: organized, creative, knows how to sew. People never customize their resumes for any of that. I think that's, I mean, if you can't do it, that's one thing. If you don't have the money or the time to go back and reprint out your resume or rewrite out your resume, but if you do it. Oh, it would be so much better. There's a whole bunch of people that came, and again, getting onto the people might hate me for this part, but it's not really a job that you can't speak English in, if that makes sense. Because you're talking to the customers constantly, and we live in a low immigrant community. There's a lot of French speaking people, There are a lot of indigenous people, there's a lot of Indian people. But everybody here understands English. So not being able to talk to me in English is very bad when I'm looking to hire you, because if you can't talk to me, who's willing to talk to you because I'm helping you like put in your resume and I'm judging who you are, it's beneficial for me to keep talking to you and understand what you're saying. But if it's not valuable to talk to you as a customer, I'm not gonna talk to you. So I think a lot of people, I mean, I really understand that you can't just learn a language immediately, but it seems unhopeful to spend your time applying for face-to-face businesses where you have to have the ability to speak with one another. Yeah. A lot of people don't spell right in their resumes, and I just take that as a bad sign because you couldn't figure out how to use spell checker. Like there's no need to use computers or anything like that in the store. Why would I bother? It's a bad sign. I don't know. I'm just trying to give you guys some vague advice for what I look for in hiring. This is just because I've had, I've had, I'd say mainly had bad or like decent experiences. Probably the worst one I had was one lady where she probably took like 5 smoke breaks during the day, and she stank like cigarettes so much that I actually had to run through the store with Febreze every time she left. That was bad. So, I mean, I understand that side of it too, that if you do have an addiction, having a job shouldn't be any harder for you, but at the same time, as a company, there's a very good chance that your customers coming in won't be especially happy with the smell of cigarette smoke. And I mean, that's just something I have to take into account. It's the same thing. One of my old friends, her parents owned a Greek restaurant, so they had the great big ovens, right? And a little person applied for the job. I don't actually know what the correct term is that they're using now. That's what it was when I was a kid, was little person. And they looked at it, and it's like, she has all the qualifications, but how is she going to reach the oven? Because they're these great big ovens. And it's that whole thing of, this shouldn't prevent you from getting a job, but I think it has to prevent you from getting this one. And I think that part of hiring is just really, really interesting, where it's like, because I'm like a terribly nice person. Like I'm always choosing the saddest looking plants and the saddest looking fish, But when you're thinking it more from a customer perspective of what's acceptable to somebody who's spending their money there, it's very different from what's acceptable societably. I don't know. I guess I'll just move on to typical management 680. Not the asshole. Your mom definitely is. You have to live life for you. If business is what you want, make it happen, even if that means transferring to a school with a business program. Make sure you're meeting with your career advisor and get internship experiences. And I was like, wow, I'm very excited for the internship parts of this job because there's so many good internship jobs in business. Like in medicine, your interning is basically your residence, which you do like once you complete med school. Like it's like a while away, but internship is just it's so cool to actually be able to work in a company, like a lot of people who work there. I feel like I learned so much. And I asked typical management 680 what a career advisor is. Your university should have a career advisor. That's somebody who advises you on preparing for your career. They usually have industry connections and can provide you with a list of internship opportunities, or at least guide you to companies offering them, as well as help you develop professionally. Your major advisor should be able to connect you to your career center's services center. If you transfer hopefully to a bigger school with more resources, connect with your major advisor and a career advisor ASAP. Edit. Also, business majors quite often find employment right after undergraduate, especially if they've had at least one internship experience. And then I was like, wow, I can't believe I didn't even know what a career advisor is, because that seems so straightforward. And I kind of just was like, thank you for helping me understand what being alive is. And then good luck. I work as a college advisor, mostly for science students who want to pursue pre-med. Feel free to message me if you have any more questions. And I feel like I kind of want to write out some questions for this guy since he's a college advisor. That's very cool. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing out on so much of the university experience that most people have had because I've just been sitting in my house like the only people I can really name who work at the college are like the people teaching my classes. I couldn't really tell you like any extra faculty. I couldn't tell you who the secretaries are. I couldn't tell you who the janitors are. I couldn't tell you who the line cooks are at the cafeteria. Tech support victim. Not the asshole. Mother's being controlling and can get over it. Another Miss Quackers. Not the asshole. The key to success is to love what you're doing. Unfortunately, your mom has lost sight of that. Kooky Junie Tate. Oh, they replied earlier. Not the asshole. It's your education, your degree, and your life. Yes, it hurts to break away from what your parents want for you. I know that very well. At the end of the day, your mom is going to live your life. She thinks she knows what's best, but sometimes parents project their own desires and lost opportunities on their kids. You have to do what you think will make you happy. Understand, though, that your mom only wants what's best for you. But you are at an age where you need to decide for yourself what will give you the most happiness and fulfillment in your life. Not just short term, but also long term. You may have to deal with the fights and the arguments, but if you work hard, you will be successful, and one day your mother will recognize that. Best of luck. And I think that's, I don't know, I think that's interesting, honestly, that everybody said I wasn't the asshole, and that it is mainly about finding things you enjoy. I don't know. I feel like I have a very bad understanding of how decent of an income I need to make. Because I was thinking 80K a year was pretty, like, decent, you know? But apparently it's very, very decent. Like, 50,000 is typical, like, paid off the mortgage money a year, so I don't know. I do think 80,000 would be nice, but, I don't know. Let me just do some, Googling. Maybe I should share my screen. I don't know how to share my screen with this. Bonk. Please give me a number. Give me your number. Damn. Okay. That's fucking crazy. Supply chain management. 110,000 a year. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah. Average salary of accountants is 54 a year. I know you can get up to 79 as like a senior accountant, which definitely isn't bad. I don't know. And then with a science degree. I don't know. Of course, I'd want to take a business specialization, but I don't know. That could be a fun video to do next time. Is just a study on the difference between a science degree and a business degree, because honestly, I don't really know. They seem pretty fluid. I don't know if you can hear me when I do that. I don't know. They seem pretty fluid. Oh, one day I'm gonna have to confront myself in my audio. But today is not yet that day. I will hold out on it for a while. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it at some point. I'm sure I will, because I do enjoy editing, and it's a lot of fun. But I've just been busy somewhat. I had a whole math test today, which actually went so much better than I thought it was. I'm so relieved about that. I got like a 16 on my assignment, which was bad, but he is going to drop the lowest one, so that's very good, which makes my average like 74 or something. And it would be 52 with the 16 in there, so yeah. But yeah, my test is already up to 33, and since it's an online one, he goes back and is like, oh, you got that half right. You actually get half the points instead of the computer just saying, oh, it's not exactly how I wanted it, it's a 0. Like, I'm gonna guess, like, all my integral notation, all I'm speaking calculus things. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. Like, because I didn't bother to go into the software and find the U key. So instead, I just typed U with my computer keyboard. I don't know if it counts that. But yeah, like, let's assume I got domain right, but not range. The computer will be like, hey, that's a 0, but you can go back and be like, actually, that's technically 1. So I think I'll probably get like 50 on this or something. So I think my math average is actually not as bad as I was thinking it is, which I'm pretty happy about. And I'm just kind of excited to keep going. I know I've had like a bit of a overly relaxing evening here, because I just kind of I showered, I wrote that post, I cooked, I made a chicken pot pie. I'm gonna go have a slice after this. That was really fucking good filling. So we'll see how the crust turned out. I kind of just guessed. Well, no, that's not true. I actually followed the recipe for the crust, but from now on, I just get to guess, which is fun. So that's my rule for those that don't know, because I haven't told anyone yet. But I like to just cook without recipes. So I looked up the recipe on how to make the dough this time and like what temperature to cook the oven at. But next time I do something similar, I can't do the same thing, just so that I don't get stuck in the whole reading recipes thing, because I think that's boring. Like I didn't have a recipe for the filling. It's just like, I have some Alfredo sauce, I have some cream and mushroom sauce, chicken, peas, corn, bacon, onions, carrots. Yeah, basically anything I had, I just was like, yeah, that probably tastes good. Oh, man, I should save my hollandaise for this. Hollandaise would be really good. I use hollandaise to cook the chicken though, so it's probably already in there, for being honest. Yeah, I'll go have some of that, and yeah, and I also wish you lovely people a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I will see you very soon, but only if you take very good care of yourselves.